Hey folks, Big Bruce here, and as this is the title, this is Nations and on a TT overload. Seemed that it was the car of choice for just about everybody. A few other cars out there, see a Renault and Porsche there qualifying quite high. I'm down here in 7th, but I was only, I think maybe 0.4 off the qualifying pole. Some fairly quick times. But it was going to be interesting to see what kind of strategy played out with all these TTs in the field. Had been practicing a fair bit with Iron Mike just on different strategies and that. Comparing times, comparing different cars. And there's a few cars down the back here that I thought, well, I'm not quite sure why people have gone for them. But anyhow, we'll get stuck into it. We're going to try and do a lot of this in fast forward. But I thought it would be interesting just to see how it's going to play out here. So, Iron Mike and I had experimented with a number of different strategies just to see what the overall time was doing. We'd done a fair bit, but Iron Mike suggested later on when we'd finished practicing in that the possibility of a 3-stop strategy as opposed to the 1s and 2s that we had been looking at. We'd sort of come about this by just looking at the times that we were doing, and after about lap 7 or so in the TT, the car still felt alright, but the times dropped off pretty quickly. So it was just going to depend in the race how much got held up and how he came out of the pits and fell into the field as to whether that was going to work. Yeah, one of the cars I tried was Porsche, and there's a Porsche up here, and I knew it would be slow to start with. I was more consistent on the times, and the TT was quicker early, so we just got ripped ahead. He started up in front of me just trying to work through in this Porsche, get past this Porsche. It was how much time were we going to lose to the leaders? The lead 3 have already broken away. And then just to add a little bit extra, had this guy from behind would occasionally poke his nose in. So we're just cooking along nicely here. So my strategy of this 3-stop was to stop at the end of lap 7, chuck on hards for 1 lap, and then go 8 on medium, then come home 7 on medium, and refuel that last pit stop. It was really going to depend on how many battles you get stuck in. I think guys burn their tyres a bit trying to get past this Porsche, and his tyres will wear slightly less than ours, so this battle in front just here was just slowing us down a bit, and then this guy decides he wants a piece of it. I see in the comments later you obviously wrote people up a wrong way a few times. Yeah, he'd obviously been burning up his tyres following along in the draft. Yeah, slows you down a bit and then you get passed by somebody else. So I think he was quite good. Obviously following along behind somebody, but as soon as he was in front, he didn't really have anything. Easy to follow, but hard to lead. So I was just wondering how good Mixie's tyres were as well. He'd taken advantage and slipped on through. And I was worried about the time that was just starting to lose on the lead guys. They're just slipping away. You can see Rip Dockhead's fallen back and that Porsche's poked his way back through in front of the other two TTs as well, so that would have been slowing everybody down. Just letting the front guys, just front three sneak away. And I thought it'd be interesting to see what strategies were going on here. I figured a lot of people were going to be doing two-stop and spending too much time on their hards or pushing their mediums too deep. So my plan was to stop at the end of this lap. So just come back to normal pace. You can see that the Renault came in and pitted on a mediums and a whole bunch of cars behind me have pitted too. Pretty happy with my fuel use. I was pretty confident that we could get lots of mileage. So I slap onto my one lap of hards here. It's one of the other cars that are in there. Mercury and Kiwi and a Citroen. I think a few people took these cars like this and the Megane, thinking that they were going to prosper on a one-stop. Wasn't worried about these two guys nipping by quickly. You can see them coming. The big dive bomb. Now we're back in. So a few of the other cars out front went 8. They're mediums to start with. Out of the way. One of the Meganes in front. It's just how much am I going to get held up by these guys now and when are they pitting as to whether I can work strategy wise. I tried them again and practice with Iron Mike. Just didn't think he had the pace around here at all. So a whole heap of cars go into the pits here. I'm just mindful of trying not to lose too much time behind these cars that haven't pitted yet. So these cars possibly at a one stop like that Megane. Some of these Audis on a two-stop and really starting to push your tyres too far. Like the Brunchy, yep. Always have a good race with them. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on the TT that came out. I think Mannequin, whatever his name is. So he started just in front of me in the race, so I'm sitting about the same spot. Just trying to make sure he doesn't get away too much. You'll see this a few times as we go along. This became my favourite spot to pass. Setting up out of that sweeping left-hander, there's a couple of lines you can take. I found a good spot, especially when people had worn tyres, they just couldn't straighten out and get on the power early enough. So I'm just trying to put my head down and catch the guys in front. That pink Porsche's up there again. Not quite sure what his strategy was or whether he's pitted yet. He got Rip Dog Head in front as well. So these are the guys that I was following early on that started in front of me when I started 7th. So I was pretty happy to be behind them, knowing that I'd done my hard as well and they were going to have to stop and be on hards at some stage. Also that my fuel use was pretty good. I've always been pretty happy in this car with the fuel use, which means I'll need to spend less time in the pits later on. I'm sure Rip Doghead had one eye on his mirrors and Big Brucey coming along again. Stopping over the next couple of laps. If they've been on hards this middle stint or going to go on hards late or keep pushing. But I'm catching up these guys and don't want to be held up. And my 3-stop plan anyway was to be pitting at the end of this lap. So we'll dive in and see if we can get some clear track. The other thing I'm mindful here is when other leaders doing their last pits and that, what strategies are they on? So I'm quite happy to be attacking now. No more stops needed, fresh tyres on. Just go for it. You can see Mr. Donovan just did his hard lap. So he's on mediums now too. How long does the Renault stay out? Got Rip Doghead and Mixie in front of me. I think the Porsche goes too long in the end. I think he bins it on that corner. Just hoping I'm not going to get held up too much by these guys, and then I can break into an equal time. And take 3 of that passing manoeuvre on that little bit there. See how much you lose just being behind one car for a lap and how far Rip Doghead got ahead. And how beneficial it is to be up front and not get held up by anybody. So those guys have gotten away pretty good. Fourth time with that manoeuvre. Happy with how the tyres and the fuel looking at this stage to be able to just keep going and press home. And I think the Renault's still yet to come into his heart. That's in the lead. And this was the first race of the day too, so I don't think people had perfected their strategies or anything. There's a few cars there that were in front. They still had to do a second stop for their hards. Pretty late in the race. I think they're pressing their mediums too long. So at this stage I'm just focusing on seeing if I can nail down fourth. I feel like I'm catching them pretty steadily. The Renault just came out back into second there with his hard tyres for a couple of laps. So we're just getting ready now. I think I can line this guy up next time around. Back to normal speed. Feels a lot more sedate after all that fast forwarding. And I felt he'd gone in too high there. He's loose. Whether there was a bit of defending or whether he was just loose. But 5 for 5 out of passes there. So that's how it cracked up. Started 7th, come in 4th. Would have been interesting to see how it would have come down. I think got held up a little bit there. Might have cost me 4 or 5 seconds. Might have been able to go for walk originally, hurry up. Just flicking through everybody's tyres and that here, I noticed the Renault was slow. I wonder whether he ran out of fuel, but he just decides to give it the big victory handbrake over the finish line. Fair enough, we're on victory second. I think Mr. Donovan, the TT, had slightly pulled away from him. He ran the 3-stop and so did the Renault ran a 2-stop. Going through everybody else, their tyres are pretty buggered. Or they've come in late and mismatched their timing on the pit stops, but gone too long too early. But pretty happy with that. Interesting race. whether people learn from their strategies later on. But I was happy to take the money and run on that one. So, it's all good. Enjoyable race. It's always good. I prefer these ones where there's a bit of strategy in that, as long as you don't get taken out by somebody. But, there we go. Thanks for watching. Be safe. Have a good one out there.